Thank you for purchasing the Advanced Storage Products Pushback System. To help you work safely with the Advanced Pushback System, please direct your attention to the following operation procedures. If using a standard low-pro pushback system, your pallet should have 5 left-to-right bottom boards in good condition and properly fastened. Advanced does offer a full-support pushback system that will work with almost any type of pallet. Note these two different pallet types. One has no bottom boards, and one is made out of plastic. These pallets can be used with our full-support pushback only. Advanced pushback systems are operated in the same way regardless of pallet type. Check to make sure your load is banded or shrink-wrapped prior to loading the system. This will help to secure the load to the pallet to minimize the potential for shifting of your product when loading and unloading the system. Next, pick up the pallet and slightly tilt up the forks. This puts the pallet in line with the upward slope of the pushback system. Load the pallet into the system, carefully placing the pallet on the first cart. While setting the pallet down, center the pallet on the cart and line it up to the front angle. This process will help the system to flow more effectively and will give the pallet the most support to minimize stress on the bottom boards. If you fail to center the load on the cart, the pallets may catch the product on the lane next to it during the loading operation. In this demonstration, one pallet was offset toward the right-hand side. As the next pallet is loaded, the pallet on the right catches the load on the left, causing the system to stop flowing properly. If this happens, simply remove the misplaced pallet load, center it on the cart, and continue your loading process. Then, take the next load and push back the first pallet and load until the cart below is exposed. Set the pallet down, again centering the load and lining the pallet to the front angle. When loading the final pallet, be careful to place the pallet on the front of the load beam and rails. If you load behind the beam and on the rails only, pick up the load and pull it forward until it lines up with the front load beam. If you pull the load forward, the pallet won't be fully supported underneath and the bottom boards may crack. When loading, push back only one cart at a time. Watch how the fork truck driver pushes more than one cart back. This will cause the latching spring to release from too much pressure. If you accidentally push back more than one cart, pull the pallet out and let the latching springs reset. Then reload the pallet into the pushback system. Latching springs are used to keep the cart stationary until they are loaded with product. When loading the system, make sure you load only one pallet per cart. In this demonstration, the first pallet load is placed too far back on the top cart. The next load is placed on the lip of the top cart and then on part of the lower cart. If this happens, remove the load that is overlapped and pull the top pallet forward, aligning it to the front of the cart, and continue your loading process. More than one pallet on the cart can cause pallet damage and may cause the system to fail. When unloading the pushback, pick up the pallet and slowly pull back out of the system, controlling the speed of the remaining pallet loads. This is critical. If you do not control the speed of the load, your pallet may slip forward into the aisle. Should a pallet slide forward on a cart due to improper loading of the system, it is important to immediately lift that misplaced load and replace it properly on the cart. When removing the front pallet, if the pallet behind it does not immediately flow forward, lightly bump the hung-up pallet with the pallet being removed. This should free the pallet and allow it to flow forward. If the rear pallet does not index forward, replace the front pallet to hold it in place and follow the pallet unsticking procedure. If using the pushback in a picking operation, please make sure to have pallet stops attached to the front beam or welded to the rail frame prior to operating the pushback. The weight of the full pallets can push on the lighter front pallet causing it to slide into the aisle toward the order picker. Shown are some types of pallet stops offered by Advance. If at any time during your use of Advance's pushback a pallet hangs up in the system, please follow these important safety tips. At no time enter the actual lane to free up a stuck pallet. If you unload the pushback and note that the remaining loads are not flowing forward, please reset the load you were pulling out, leaving the fork truck as a brace. Look underneath the system to see if something fell into the track and blocked the wheel of the cart. If this is the case, very carefully clear the obstruction from the system. If the hang-up is caused by a broken pallet, empty the pushback next to the hung-up system. Put empty pallets on the pushback to create a solid platform. Advance always recommends, and federal, state, and local safety codes require, the use of a body harness when working in the racking system. Please follow the instructions supplied with your fall protection equipment. Leaving the fork truck as a brace in front of the hung-up lane, work from the empty lane and transfer the load onto the good pallet. Carefully remove the broken pallet out of the system and the remaining carts will roll forward. Advance's engineering team designed the Advance pushback to be easy and safe to operate. If you have any questions on how to safely operate your new pushback system, please feel free to call us at 1-888-4-PUSHBACK.